Welcome to the fight of your life. Are you willing to die to shine? Nobody is taking us down. We are here for the crown of sound.
Hey, it's Matt Pinville and Josh Bernstein. We're backstage at Sonic Temple, another DWP Classic Festival. Very excited to be here, 2023, with my old friend Fletcher from Pennywise. Fletcher, good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Good
Always
to see you.
good to see
To the show, sir.
Yeah, likewise.
Fletcher, you know, I mean, it's so great to see you guys on stage. Saw you today, and I always love seeing you and Jim and the guys up there rocking out. And, you know, whether it's Fuck Authority or Bro Him, and you know, there's so many great songs at this period of time. For me, it never gets old. I remember the first time seeing you in the, mid-90s.
Yeah.
Like
20-something years ago.
Yeah, we met at like a big outdoor.
God, I guess it would be like
30 years ago.
30 years ago.
It's 30 years ago.
God damn it, I can't count.
That night, I remember that day we met. And we were hanging out, and it was a big punk festival in Orange County. And then, you know, I remember also just doing so many different things with you over the years. You know, bringing you guys on stage at different shows, but.
You always know way too much.
I know.
You're just always
He's the man who knew too much.
Fuck you. How do you remember that shit? I was drunk again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A lot of times I was too, but you know, I still for some reason retain that information.
I do too up to a certain point in the evening, and then like it's not a blackout necessarily. It's just like maybe I just don't want to remember what I did.
Yeah.
After I got too fucking hammered. Can I say fuck?
Yes, you can.
So, yeah.
You can't say hammered though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're here to remind me of my Cummings late night. But,
yeah. We've had many of those, which is cool, Fletcher.
Yes.
You know, so besides doing the festivals, which you've done so many great ones over the years, and, you know, I have never been to one where I haven't seen people just like the audience go berserk during Bro Him and everybody. I mean, even like people get up on stage and play with you guys, which is just so cool. A friend of mine was recently with you guys in San Diego. He said, "Oh, it was the greatest thing in my life. I got to go up on stage and do Bro Him." And, you know.
Always a good time.
It is great. But can we talk about the Punk Rock Museum, which is so cool, the thing that you're involved with, that you and Fat Mike from NoFX have put together with a whole group of guys involved there.
Yes,
I love this, and I love the idea of punk rock dudes giving tours. Tell us the story about it all.
Oh, you've been to the museum, right? Have you been there
Not
yet?
yet.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I've been invited, but I'm going to.
Yeah, okay. You could give a tour.
I want to
should
do
give
that.
a tour. Absolutely.
I'm definitely
I'll
going to do
hook you
it.
up for sure.
It'll be like a 19-hour tour.
Yeah, no, fuck. It'll be a lot of words.
Well, you know,
you're gonna have to fucking limit his words.
I know my boy Greg Hetson just did it from Bad Religions and Circle Jerks.
Well, I will do one, but when I do it, it's gonna be like a 3-day special.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be fucking lame.
I definitely want to do it though. I'll
sure.
condense my I'll condense my information for that.
It's crazy because I jumped on board. I think like 6 months after Fat Mike and Lisa Brownlee. And a bunch of other people were already. Vinny from the old drummer for Less Than Jake. They were rolling, and Mike hit me up, and he wanted me to invest. It's a for-profit museum. You know, non-profit museums don't stay open, or they're really hard to. You know, it's a lot of money, and you got to keep the doors open. So, I was like, all right, let me check it out. Gave him some money, and then jumped in on saw some shortcomings. And I grew up doing construction, so I jumped in the construction side of it and helped, design, oversaw all that shit. And then we just started brainstorming ideas, and one of them was Mike had the idea for Jam Room, where you could go in there and play like Tim from Rancid's first guitar, Joan Jett's guitar, my guitar from Unknown Road, my amp from the Bro Him recording, the original, literally come in, pick up your favorite, whatever. I think we probably have 19 guitars and basses now where you can jam. But one of the ideas was guided tours and also weddings, married. I'm like, we did a wedding chapel. I wanted to call it Sid and Nancy Wedding Chapel, but some women involved in it were
might not end well.
He killed his wife. You can't call it that. I'm like, it's speculative. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But
Never proven.
You got the Elvis Chapel, the Elvis Wedding Chapel. Why not the Sid and Nancy? But anyways, we got a wedding chapel, and we're probably gonna do people band guys. I think Dave Quackenbush or Jack Grisham. People will go out there and marry you, and that'll be badass. But in the meantime, guided tours, and it's so fucking cool. I've been out there doing a bunch of work. I haven't done a tour. Mike's done one, but Hetson, like you said, got so many people. I can't even think of all the fucking people that have done it already. Casey Royer from the Adolescents.
A lot of legendary,
Joe-
great punk dudes. Of like
Dude,
people.
and everyone's got a different perspective. If you're like, an East Coast guy doing the tour, you have that perspective. If you're Casey Royer, Orange County dude, you got that perspective. If you're me, it's going to be totally different. Fat Mike. So it's like most of these guys have been around for like 40 years. And imagine, for a little extra dough, walking. First of all, you get to hang out with your favorite musician. If it's Joe Escalani's your guy,
Yeah.
Boom, there's 30 people, and he's just like, okay, I was at this show, and this is what happened, or this or that, and for me, it's not even about like Pennywise. Like I can go, oh, Black Flag Misfits at the Santa Monica Civic, like 45 Grave and Fear at the Whiskey in 1981. Like me and Lee Ving were fucking drinking Budweisers and throwing them at fucking cops out the window on
I wish
Sunset
I had got
Strip.
to drink with you and Lee Ving together,
Oh,
man.
that was good. I don't think no more drinking for Lee.
Yeah,
At
no more
this point,
drinking for
I think,
me either.
I think he's permanently drunk. Yeah, I'm going to carry the torch for both of you.
Okay, please do.
That actually is a good segue because I was going to ask, which I've never asked before. What is in your Pringles can? What are you drinking today?
It's today. It's Captain Coke. Captain
Captain Coke.
Zero.
And by the way, might I offer you a coaster for your
yeah,
for
fuck
your Pringles cap?
Well,
Yeah.
We don't normally have guests over as
now the coasters are like
little records.
fucking badass. We were talking about doing this for the museum.
You should.
Cardboard. This is like next level. It's a real vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you play this shit? I wonder if you could actually play it.
I've tried.
Yeah.
And it's that, but I bet you could
And
probably
he's
go the
already
extra
destroyed
step.
4 needles.
I've already
Hey, you-
blown all my parents' hi-fi systems.
Okay. You know that every record on the inside right here, there's something written.
Yeah.
You guys,
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
but like personal secret messages
Oh,
from
really?
bands in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like literally, like our first one, I forget what I fucking wrote, but I wrote it and they carve it in there. Just a little tip: if you're a vinyl owner, tilt it sideways and look, and you'll find some
You find a little thing in
random shit. But yeah, this is fucking badass.
Aren't they cool? It's like the Clash when
Fucking love it.
they didn't put the Train in Vain name on London Calling. They put that Train in Vain in the inner groove.
Yeah.
To let people
There
know
you
what
go.
the song
That's
was
right.
called.
But that's a fucking great little deal right there. I
That
love
would sell very well at the Punk Rock Museum. And congratulations, like Lisa Brownlee's an old friend of mine, and I see all the photos and work and hard work, and you guys have put into that for years. So it's so cool that we have it. We got to check that out next time we're in Vegas.
Yeah, I want to go to
You
Vegas,
will
and I want to
have-
actually give
literally,
a tour.
Literally,
We'll
get-
jam.
like you have to give a tour, dude. You would crush it.
Yeah.
You'd have so many fans that would come and take that tour. I would come and take that tour because
Yeah.
it's so cool. You could do a tour with anybody you want and get a different perspective and different stories. I mean, I've watched like Monkey from the Attics. I've been there working, like spray painting or fucking pounding nails or doing some dumb shit and watching tours. And I was hop in. I actually like hijacked his tour for a second, I think, because I was like on a video screen doing something really dumb. I was like, oh, fucking turn this off. Like, why am I? And then the whole group was like, what? Oh, that's you. Like, they didn't,
Yeah.
But it's really cool to hear the different stories and the different perspectives. And it's like, we really, not to go on about the museum, but like we really wanted it to be like a punk rock collective and be a place where we can all hang out. And like, for me, it's totally become that, where it's like being backstage at a show. It's like being here. If I saw you, like I'm sitting there doing something and some people are talking about a show and I'm like, oh, I was at that show, and I make a new friend just with these people just chilling. And then the bar and fucking, the jam room and all the shit. It's like you walk around and there's all these different experiences and shit. And it just feels like a place where you can go and run in. I'm standing there, Brett Gurwitz walks behind me, owner of Epitaph. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I just was in town. Like, oh, the Offspring are here. Like, hey, Flea just got off the plane and fucking bombed straight there with his
If you
security
build
guards.
it, they will come.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you build it, it comes. So it's gonna be a hangout. It kind of feels like a European squat in a weird way. But the history in there is
Where the
fucking
punk
phenomenal.
rock, I mean, that's how a lot of the punk rockers did it back in England in the day, right?
Yeah,
Clash.
they just fucking
you
took
know?
it over and said, here's where we hang out. So this is the same type of vibe, and it's fucking awesome, and you'll be stoked. And you're on the guest list, obviously.
Yeah,
Unless
thank you.
you're touring, then you're VIP guest list.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do tour. I mean, there's talk about it, now that you've said that, it's got to happen. I definitely want to do
Absolutely.
it because I enjoy that so much, and you're the same way. We
love the history.
We love the history. We're both huge fans of punk, obviously, and been involved forever.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm just excited to go through it for the first time.
It'll blow your mind, like everything from Sid Vicious's belt to like Darby's fucking driver's license. Like the weirdest little. I text Grohl. I took a picture of his like Scream, his section, and I'm all, hey man, got any cool shit for the museum? And he was like, holy shit, I had no fucking idea. This is so rad. Pat Smear's an investor. And he's like, Pat told me about it, but I had no idea it was this gnarly. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to my mom's house. I'm going to dig through her basement. All my shit's in the basement. And then I sent him a picture of an envelope. It's a letter that he wrote to like Ian McKay or something.
Oh, I've seen that letter.
Like,
yeah.
and he's like, I go, does this ring a bell? He's like, motherfucker. He's like, I was such a nerd.
Yeah.
Like, he would write letters to band guys, and like a lot of those, and who knows, like some collector happens to have that, and it's like, hey, put this in the museum. So there's so many, like we got, it's not in there yet, but Rollins' first T-shirt that he wore at his first Black Flag show, with his name fucking written or sewn into the tag or whatever. His mom put his name on his fucking shirts before he went on the road.
Because she was worried like he'd lose them or they'd get mixed up with everybody else.
So his white, dirty ass, white, bloody fucking Hanes with like, Henry Rollins or whatever. It's Hank fucking whatever his name is. Sorry, I don't know his name. It's Rollins. Isn't it Hank? Yeah. I don't know. Like it's going in.
Oh,
Shit
yeah,
like
Henry Garfield.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
SOA.
Doug
Garfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hank Garfield. No?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can call him either one,
I'll check his underwear.
Yeah,
at the Punk Rock Museum.
Yes.
Are you excited about that? I know I am.
I can't wait to go. Like I said, I've been watching the photos forever, and like I said, it was laughable when we were kids, whether it was a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? And now there's this talk of a heavy metal one and a punk rock one. And
I wanted to do both. I want to do the punk rock and the metal. We're actually trying to do like crossover corner. Like I want to do like Metallica, Slayer, fucking.
Well, look at
Slipknot,
Motorhead, right? The ultimate,
and Motorhead,
the ultimate ones.
Their shit's on the way right now. Like I'm negotiating with them to try to get Lemmy's, like the good Lemmy shit in there, and it's pretty much going to happen. I mean, it's like
I think Motorhead is like the intersection where metal dudes and punk guys all shake
dude,
hands.
in 1980, this is no joke. In 1980, 81, if you were into metal, like you were my enemy, right? It was fucking fist fights on site, long hair, fucking kill hippies, let's go. But Motorhead, you could show up in a Motorhead fucking vest or a Motorhead shirt, and you're like, all right, you're good. Like, we all loved fucking Motorhead. And then Metallica, I mean, that early Metallica is like, wait a second, are we allowed to like this? That shit was straight up fucking punk rock,
Yeah.
And those guys, a lot of those guys were obviously influenced by punk rock. I was influenced by Lemmy. And then you hear like DRI or fucking Suicidal Tendencies, all this crossover corner, like we're building it right now. I mean, it'd be great to build a metal museum right next door, which we're actually talking about.
Build a crossover museum in between the two museums.
There you go.
Yes, that's amazing.
7 seconds and DRI.
For that idea.
And you mentioned Metallica too, and those guys, those early shows. There's a great story about how, Cliff Burton and Rob Borden from Faith No More, of course, and played with Ozzy, went to see the Pistols do that last show at
Winterland.
In San Francisco, Winterland.
Yeah.
And they went to Cow Palace, and they saw it. Yeah, I always confuse the two as well. But that's where they were like, hey, we should pick up instruments. I'll play bass, you play drums, and that's why Metallica covered Anti-Nowhere League, because they love the punk. And when they did their home show, they had the singer of Anti-Nowhere League come out and do So What in San Francisco last
So
year.
What's the best song ever written. I fucking smashed If you fucking put on So What and I'm drunk, and I'm going to smash everything. And if I'm in a car, we're fucking close to dead, if not dead.
Can we get some shots?
Good times.
And
I love that song.
And Trujillo now in Metallica, like from the Suicidal fucking gene pool, like, and fucking his son playing with Suicidal Ty now.
Yeah.
It's fucking, and just.
It all comes full circle.
I met Kurt Hammett one time, Sunset Strip, coming out of like House of Blues, and somebody's like, hey, Kurt, this is fucking Fletcher from Pennywise. Oh, fuck, dude. You guys fucking rip, man. I love your work. I'm like, what? You know who I am? But my guitar amp I went out and bought for the first Pennywise recording was Kurt's fucking actual. I researched it. I saved up $3,000, Mesa Boogie, Studio 22 preamp, and a fucking 400-watt Strategy 400. It's called. That was like, I wanted to sound like fucking Metallica on the first Pennywise record.
Yeah. So there is. So it really the punk and metal definitely has crossed over in so many ways, and it's not like you said when we were younger, where it was us or them kind of thing, or them and us, depending on what side you were on.
But dude, like, there's going to be like fucking Ice Cube's going to that museum. Snoop Dogg's going. Like the punk rock thing, you see dudes wearing Misfit shirts and stuff. Like it's like it's a thing, and it's like Miley Cyrus will fucking roll through there, someday. Obviously, Kourtney Kardashian will come through with Travis, but
Yeah.
like it's punk rock is here to stay. It was the music that took a chance. I mean, the metal was first, obviously, rap, gangster rap, all that shit. But punk rock. When we were growing up, it was a joke. It was a bunch of fucking ugly kids singing, fucking couldn't sing, fucking singing out of key, fucking loud guitars. It was a joke. We were a joke, and now it's like, oh, wait a second. This actually was pretty fucking important, and now it's an influence. Our attitude,
Art, style,
the style,
everything.
the art in the museum will blow your mind because it's a 14-year-old kid making a flyer or a fucking T-shirt. We got fucking Clash shirts that were fucking spray painted that he wore on stage, Stormer wore on stage and shit. Like the art is like Shepard Fairey to me making our first fucking logo with a Sharpie. Like, and you walk in there and the art overload, like it should be, it's the gnarliest art museum I've ever been to in my life. And it's just because like spray paint's fucking art and computers are art. It's all art. It's just like freedom of expression, do it yourself. So it's a lot of talk about the museum, but it's badass. You're going to love it.
That's great. So Fletcher, one last question is, all right, it's been
Are we going to talk about Sonic Temple at all, or?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with it. I was here to talk about the Punk Rock Museum.
Don't turn around.
Yeah. So one other thing I want to ask you is, you guys working on some new material, you and Jim and the guys? Have you been thinking about working
new
on
material?
Yeah.
When you think about new material with Pennywise, you fucking start getting stomach aches and the hot flashes. And
because you've not enough great stuff, right? I mean,
it's a nightmare. We're a fucking nightmare. We're true democracy is a fucking bummer, and that's why America's not a fucking democracy. We pretend like it is. That's why there really is no democracies, right? I don't believe that there are true democracies, and Pennywise tries to be a true democracy, but it's not. I'm big, I'm ugly, I'm scary. Jim's fucking gnarly. He's like, no, I'm not fucked. He just fucked you. I don't care what you voted. I'm not singing that lyric. I'm not playing that song. So it's one of those things where we all are so opinionated, and every record has been everybody down to like how long the snare roll is, to like are the clicks going to be sticks or hi-hat, or we're just going to come in like every single goddamn aspect of every single song is beaten to death till we all feel like, okay, we can agree on this. So writing Pennywise songs is a fucking nightmare.
and you got enough material that you could. I mean, you've got so many great songs to fill up a great.
But I have like 30 songs at post-COVID. Jim's ready to go in the studio right now. We were talking about doing something crazy about going back and taking like 30, like doing a greatest hits record.
Yeah.
But instead of just putting out your greatest hits, like going back and re-recording all the songs, like kind of like an updated version of the song. But like we look back and you go, oh man. I mean, of course, the Blue album 30 years ago is awesome. But like, what if we had played it in this key, and Jim's voice was a little deeper? And what if like we would, so everything morphs, but like just for fun, like go back and do a greatest hits where we just go in the studio and we just fucking blast it out. So we're talking about that with a couple new songs. I mean, albums are a thing of the past, and it's a total bummer.
Yeah, I know. Of course, we love albums.
Hate it.
No question about it. Yeah, I mean, albums are what got me through my childhood and everything else through my entire life. I
Still
love
to this day, you put on an album, right? In the car, you fucking wherever you put on an album.
Yeah, I need that experience.
You fucking lock in and you do it. And the days of like, God, I fucking hate people making. I don't mind like a comp or fucking whatever fucking radio's playing, Slipknot radio, but like I want to put on the Minor Threat EP and I want to rock that shit full blast like 3 times in a row. Like so. The bummer is no one will get to song 3 anymore, or song 4, let alone song 10. So it's like give them 2 songs, let them get on that, and then they're fucking listening to something else.
It's odd, right? We started as a singles business up until like the 1950s, right?
Yeah.
It was all 78s.
Yeah, and it really kicked
then
in.
We're back there.
Yeah.
And now we sort of come full circle in a weird, crazy way.
Society, with the internet and social media and all this shit, it's like everyone's so fickle and just changing their mind. The bummer for me about the invention of the internet is like it's taken away scenes in a weird way. Like sure, like now we can come play this festival with Tool. 20 years ago we wouldn't be playing here with Tool. Like this is European style, like Wimmer and Spielberg. Like
very much.
they've made, and that's something really, really cool. But at the same time, like the punk rock scene, yeah, it's still there. The metal scene, it's still there. But like now you can go hang out with some metalers. Like I'm going to Metallica at SoFi. I'm going to fucking AC/DC, and it's all good. But like back in the day, like your scene was your fucking life. I don't care if you're reggae or fucking metal or fucking punk rock or fucking rap. Like you did not give in. And the internet and the ability to like move around and just be like, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. Oh, there it is. Like it's kind of a bummer. It's slightly a bummer. I mean, I appreciate
Too many choices.
I appreciate the fact that everybody gets to listen to music and they're like everything's accepted, but at the same time, being part of something that was so tight knit and so like, here we are in our own little world, and if you don't like it, fuck you. That was rad, but. Hey, here we are now. So singles, back to singles.
Yeah, it is. It's wild. It's come full circle.
Well, Fletcher, we can't thank you enough for joining us. We're so
Here
excited.
at Sonic Temple.
Here at Sonic Temple.
Yes.
In Columbus, Ohio, right here on the
Yes.
Power Hour on Access TV. Congrats on everything at the Punk Rock Museum, Las Vegas, guys. Go check it out. We can't wait. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Great
Good
to
see
have
you
you,
guys.
Fletcher. Always.
Boom. All right.